Oh. Okay, cool. I got nervous. I'm like, oh gosh, are we having technical difficulties again? Okay, so we're gonna get started because we have a guest speaker, a surprise for you guys. As you guys know, July we are focusing 100% in on sponsoring. Uh, did I just mute myself? No, okay, I'm unmuted. Sponsoring and growing your teams, all of those things. So we have a guest speaker that's going to talk to us more about host flipping and whatever other amazing things she has in her amazing brain. We have our 2022, 20, what would have been 2022? 2021, 2022 shining star here. So we have Sarah Speechley here. She is going to talk to us about all the sponsoring things that are in her amazing brain. So I am going to hand it over to her because I hate for our guest speakers to have to wait on us. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the floor to her.
Okay.
There we go.
Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you. Sorry. You get me blushing when you talk about shooting star. Still shocked. Don't believe it, but anyway, thanks.
I love it. I loved it.
It
was my favorite shining star I think that we've had. So I loved it.
Yeah, my big shocked moment, and it took a picture of this horrible face.
It was so cute. We loved it.
Thanks. Anyway, so yes, Rachel asked if I would kind of just, I think someone tagged me. She's like, who's good at sponsoring? And then I think someone tagged me like, Sarah is. And so I'm like, I do like to sponsor, and I'm not one that likes to brag about it, but I do usually hit annual mentor. That is a goal I have every year, is to hit the annual mentor. So it's something I really work on, and it's something I have to kind of get into the recruiting mentality. So if that is something you want to do, is recruit, you kind of have to have a mindset for recruiting. You got to listen for people saying they're tired of work, or they need more money, or they want, whatever. You got to kind of listen in for how Scentsy would benefit them. So I wanted to just give you a few tips that I use with recruiting. First is that recruiting mentality, having that. Second is finding out how it will benefit them. Okay, we all know Scentsy can be a huge blessing. Okay, for everyone, it's a different reason why. So finding out why that is a huge blessing is something you got to just have that mindset of, how could Scentsy help them? Okay, it's not about just you getting annual mentor. Yes, that is my goal, but that's not what I'm pushing. I don't push people and say, hey, I need you to recruit or join. I find out how Scentsy could benefit them, even if it's just to get commissions off their own products. I do that, depending on what it is. Another thing, and I know I only have like 10 or 15 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast and then you guys can ask questions at the end. So I'm not even going to read the chat because it'll make me squirrel my brain. One, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, I know when I first started, I didn't want to sound like the pushy salesperson or the pushy direct salesperson. I am not a pushy person, and I still can recruit. Okay, finding out how it would benefit them is huge. But then my biggest tip on how I ask people is I give it as a compliment. You would be an amazing Scentsy consultant because why ever you think they would be. Maybe they're outgoing, maybe they're good with numbers, maybe they love to talk to people, maybe they are good on the computer, maybe they are good at social media. There are so many reasons why every single person here is good at being a Scentsy consultant. And worse comes to worse, if they say no, you just gave them a compliment. We all need more compliments. So it's a great way to ask someone if they want to join Scentsy, is through a compliment. So that is huge, huge way that I ask without feeling pushy. I'm just being nice and I'm helping them out, because we all could use more compliments in the world today. Another thing is planting seeds. Okay, every single one of my customers, I am working on planting seeds. Every people I meet or my host, I am planting seeds throughout anytime they order. So for example, some of you have seen this. I think I've posted it several times. Someone else made something similar and I just copied it. It's just shouting from the rooftops. You guys may have seen it. Thank you for ordering from me. Did you know you would have made 25% commissions? And I put in the amount. I don't know if you can see that. Every single time I get an order, I put in how much I made off of them. Okay, that is planting seeds. I also always send recruiting information with my VIPs. I do a VIP for my customers, three-month mail out kind of thing. I make it fun. I make it exciting. So they want to keep reordering through me, but I'm always dropping hints, or if we have a join special, or if we have something throughout there. I'm dropping those hints all the time. Okay, so I'll talk about when I ask them, but I'm constantly dropping those hints or dropping those seeds because they may not join the first time that you tell them how much they could have made, or the first time you ask them if they're interested. It may take time, but keep dropping those seeds. Posting on social media, if you're a big social media person, posting what you love about your business, your trips, whatnot, those are seeds that you are dropping. It gets people wanting to join and dropping those seeds. Okay. Next is flipping parties. That is what I am huge at doing. So one thing I want you to just think about, and whenever I do like coaching calls or I'm talking to my team who want to recruit, one thing I ask is how many parties have you done this year? So I want you guys all think, you don't need to write it down. I just want you to think, how many parties have you done so far this year? Your own parties, other people's parties, doesn't matter. How many parties have you entered on the workstation? Okay, we'll say, I don't know where you're at. Maybe one of you throw out a number. Well, maybe I won't put anyone on the spot. Okay, but we'll just say you've done 15 parties this year, maybe 10, I don't know. And I'm just talking even orders you've put together and put in as a party. Now, out of that number, how many recruits have you gotten? My number, my goal is every single party I close, I offer that host exclusive kit. I try not, I think I've maybe once or twice. I do not like to close a party without flipping it. Now I know you're like, oh, I don't have that many people flip, or I don't have that. How do you do that? Then you're losing your host rewards, whatnot. But you got to look at the long-term picture of the benefit of flipping those. Now, first, if there is a host that did a party for me, obviously I'm going to ask that host first, right? We all know that. Flip the host. If she got the orders, I give her the PRV. Luckily, we can now do that right on our workstation. We don't even have to call up if they were Scentsy to do that. We can flip them right to them if they're her orders. Okay. If she's not interested, I ask any of the customers at her party if they would like to take advantage of this $59 host exclusive. There is only one per party, and you have to let me know by X amount, because there's always one, it's exclusive. Two, there's a deadline, which makes it a little more, I want to get this. So ask the customers. If the customers don't and the host doesn't, I'll ask for referrals. If anyone knows someone who would benefit from this host exclusive kit. Then if they don't, I go down through my customers. Okay, so that's how I work every single party. Most of the time I get my host to flip. And I know you guys have seen where you give them the host what to fill out. Here's your host rewards. 3 of the options are getting the host kit, because I am, again, dropping those seeds even before I talk to them about it. Now, if they're orders that I have collected, if they are online orders, every time I have a party on my work PWS that says, it depends on what it is for the month, no party, direct ship. Okay, that is what my party name is. So a lot of my customers who are reordering from my PWS, again, I'm doing a lot of follow-up with my customers, so I get a lot of repeat orders. They go on there and they don't have a party to put it under. A lot of them put it under that no party, direct ship. That way, that party eventually gets to 500, where now I have a host exclusive kit that I could offer at no out-of-pocket cost. Okay, it is my orders. I'm the host of this. So that is when I'm going to reach out to my customers and look, I have a spreadsheet. If you know me, I'm a computer person. I like putting everything online. I reach out to my highest customers or my customers who are ordering the most. And I reach out to them and say, you know what, you would have made X amount this year. Have you ever thought of joining? I appreciate you as a customer and I'm happy to keep you, but I feel guilty keeping your commissions. This is something you could benefit from. I actually have an amazing opportunity. I have a no host exclusive kit available at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Would you be interested? Sometimes they say yes. A lot of times they do. A lot of times they say no. And I say, no worries. I appreciate you as a customer, whatnot. For those that do want to flip, I do flip my host rewards to them. Now, I do not flip my orders because those are my orders, but I am giving up $59 of my host kit. I mean, if it's a $500 party, which I always reach for, I'm still getting all my half offs. I'm still getting more host rewards. And yes, I could have got 2 6-packs of bars for myself, but getting recruits, growing your team, growing wide is so much better in the long run for your business. So that is something I am constantly doing. I never close a party without trying to flip that host kit. Now I have a script that I talked with, I can share too with you guys, of ways you can say or ask or even post on Facebook or social media that are within compliance. Yes, we can't say free, we can't say discounted, but we can say no out-of-pocket costs, contact me to learn more. Okay, another way, last month, and I don't know if Rachel heard this or whoever tagged me in Rachel's post, I talked to the SSDs about something I did last month, about my recruiting last month. So here's just an example of my recruiting. And again, I'm not one that likes to brag because that's just not me. But I recruited 10 last month. I'm actually already at 5 this month. So yes, I recruit. Last month, for example, out of the 10, I gotta think, I think 9 of them were host flips. So I flipped 9 of those. Okay. I gotta think. A few of them were customers. One was I think 2, 3 were customers. Anyway, one was someone who was doing a party with me. And of course I got her to flip it to her. And others were customers or people I had met on Facebook. I also post ads, not ads, but join at no out-of-pocket costs, contact me to learn how. And I set up, yes, this is kind of crazy. And it's only because someone challenged me at Superstar Summit to get 32 recruits in 1 month. Yeah, didn't hit it, didn't even come close. But, and I've never come that close. That's ridiculous and crazy. But I was like, I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna do as much as I can, and I'm gonna go do all these. So with that post that I had on Facebook, I set up launch parties for all those people. And then I helped them try to get orders to get their own parties. Okay. Out of the 24, I think 7 of the 10 last month joined. And then some of those are trickling into this month. 3 of them were from last month that are still trying to close out their party that I've already gotten for this month. So this month I've already gotten 5, and we're halfway through the month. 4 of them were flipped. One was one that wanted the 99 kit. She was a customer that decided to join. And then 3 were parties that I had set up for them. And then one was actually one today that I had orders that I flipped to one of my customers. So yes, I'm just sharing all of that. And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way I could do 10 or 5 or whatnot. But start with 1 or 2 every month. My goal originally when I joined was to get 2,000 a month and 2 recruits a month. Okay, now I love to flip parties. I don't close parties without flipping them. So my recruiting's gotten bigger because I have a lot of orders and parties going in. So anyway, that was a lot of talking. Okay, I think I stayed about 15 minutes. Sorry, I went over 10. Any questions without having to go through all the chat? Maybe Teresa or Rachel, one of you could ask any questions that were.
Oh,
Or does anyone have questions?
so sorry. I just figured out. Do you hear me twice?
Hear a
You
little
just
bit
hear
of
me once?
echo, but it's okay.
Okay, I need to unmute Rachel too. But if anyone has any questions, let us know in the chat. One of the things that I was mentioning to everyone is that there's a lot of activity in your business, and it's really surrounded by parties. Whether someone's joining, whether it's the host or whether it's a referral through the host or the party. Really, what we're encouraging everyone in this group is to get back to basics. Which is, before hypergrowth. And parties, we're a party company. And so that is about as basic as you can get. And it just kind of simplifies the process, because through parties, you're going to gain PRV, right? Through parties, you're going to gain access to new customers. Sometimes we hear often nobody wants to buy. No, the same people don't want to buy that just bought last month or a couple of weeks ago. So these parties are igniting a whole new audience. And then through that, you're developing these kits, you're creating these kits that you can offer. So if you don't mind just talking just for a moment about back to basics, because if anyone can talk about it, it's you, because you've been around Scentsy for how long?
Over 18 years, so.
Yeah. So you know double than what I know, and Rachel, because we started maybe about 8-ish years ago.
So back to basics, as in doing parties.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we were kind of founded, with Scentsy. We're a party company. In the past couple of years, I party, but we really didn't have to party. We could just post the child warmer and we could get 10, 20 orders, but we're not in that season anymore. We're back to where we were 18 years ago. That was very promising, very effective, very successful. But we have a lot of people even right now who did not join Scentsy, pre-COVID or pre-hypergrowth. So if you don't mind just touching base on back to basics, because how do you actually land all of these parties?
Back to customers. I think having good customer service is huge. And if you don't have customers yet, if you are new, getting customers and offering the host exclusive. I mean, having a party and getting 3.5 off items is a great way to grow your business. It is a great way to reach out to new customers that you would have never known. One person, right? She does a party, you're going to reach 10 new people that you may have never met without them. So yes, doing parties is huge, huge, huge. We are set up as a party plan business. Now, the great thing is parties are not like when I started. We only did home parties, right? We didn't know much more than that. And I remember starting to branch out and do basket parties or online parties. I mean, online parties came a little bit later, but there are so many different ways to do parties. Another way I'd love to do parties is text parties. So there's different ways to do parties, but yes, basic, we are a party plan business. You can post on social media, you can get customers that way, but with those customers, if you are wanting to grow your customer base, parties is kind of where it is at. Yes, you can meet people on social media. Once you have met them, ask them if they want to host a party, ask them if they want to do a Facebook, or they don't even have to be local. Most of my customers are not local to me, and due to my health, I don't do a lot of home parties. If you don't know, I don't stand well and I can't walk long, whatnot. So I do a lot more Facebook parties, online parties, or text parties, or pouch parties, mail out parties. That's just how it works for my business. I only do home parties if it's someone who really knows my health situation and knows why I have to sit and can't stand. And anyway, but yes, that is what I do. I kind of started scrolling through to a few people asked how I help those people who I do recruit. Again, same thing is setting up a party for them. One, if they haven't done a party yet, I will help them do a party. I always offer to do a Facebook party or a text party. So.
And I love that she mentioned over and over again was asking. She's just asking. There isn't like a magical way to do it. There isn't a secret about it. It's just asking. It's getting out there and when, and looking for those opportunities to insert Scentsy. And an example from this evening is I'm on a sports moms Facebook group and I seen a mom saying, how do people afford kids with $2,000 in cheer fees? And I sent her a message. Don't know this lady from Adam. She's not near me or anything. Send her a message and say, hey, I can do a fundraiser for you. Super easy. And I can get you the money July 10th. Started a fundraiser for it tonight. Super simple. It's a party, obviously, and it's somebody I don't know. And it's just looking for those ways to insert Scentsy because, and I know anybody that's ever heard me talk has probably heard this, but everybody needs Scentsy. They just don't know why yet. And it's looking for a reason why they need Scentsy. And the big thing is just asking. And you're not, if somebody cares that you're asking if they want to get free Scentsy, then do you really care if they are mad at you or if they don't want to be friends with you or if they block you on Facebook? Because who cares? You're not asking to hurt their dog. You're asking to give them free Scentsy. So it's just asking the question and being bold enough and brave enough and hungry enough to be willing to hear no. So that's the golden thing that I hope you guys got from the last few minutes that Sarah was talking is asking. You have to ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So always, always ask. Did you guys have any other questions? I'm looking through here right now.
I'm seeing a bunch of questions now that I'm looking. How do I stay organized? I do a lot of on Excel. So all my customers go in Excel. Every time they place an order, they go on there. So I see how much they're ordering. I do a lot with Project Broadcast. That is one way I do onboarding with my team. That's a whole nother thing. I do Project Broadcast with customers too, which helps. I also do my mail outs with customers. So I am very computer-based Excel format just to keep myself organized. I know that was one question. Sorry, I'm trying to look at some of these questions.
Oh, you're fine. Someone else asked, when you bless someone with a no-cost kit, how do you keep them as motivated as when you offered the kit?
That is a whole nother training. Once someone joins, the problem is, and I'm going to say, and this is a whole nother training. Whenever I say you need about 10 recruits to get one rock star, okay, that's the number I have found. Okay. A lot of times, and it doesn't matter if it's a host kit or $99 kit. I have found the same thing. You have about 10 people. One may be like a huge rock star and go with it. 3 or 4 may be great, do a lot of parties, maybe do a little here and there, maybe get a recruit or 2 here. They're good. Then you're going to get 4 or 5 hobbyists on your, which is fine. We need hobbyists. I couldn't stay at my rank if I didn't have my hobbyists. Hobbyists are always good and something to work for. Then I will have probably 2 or 3 that do absolutely nothing and don't have motivation. I never know who's going to be that rock star and who's going to be that dud. And I'm sure any of you who've gotten recruits, you've seen that, right? I've gotten someone who joined under me who I thought, oh my gosh, she is going to be a director within a few months. She's so motivated. She's so excited. And I'm no kidding. Within a month or 2, she wouldn't return my calls, wouldn't do anything, was just full of excuses, blah, blah, blah. Then I had someone say, I'll join, but it's only going to be for me. I'm just going to get my own products at a discount and get commissions off those. I'm not going to do much. That's fine. I'll still take them. And then sometimes they end up being my rock stars. So you just never know, and you can never prejudge with that. So just offer training, offer to help them. I offer coaching calls. I have an onboarding system that I do. I work with those that want to grow. And that's going to be the same whether, like I said, it's the 99 or the host kit. I have found it's the same with both. I have people that spend 99 and do nothing too. So I don't prejudge. I just train with all of them. I offer, like I said, Facebook parties or a text webpage party. So
I love that. And I love that it's just, you just never really know. And that's why, it's just the power of numbers. And we've said this multiple times in the last few weeks. It's the power of numbers. It is truly a numbers game. In order to find those few rock stars and those few that really, really do want to work this business, you have to sponsor a lot. And it's just the way that it is. And it's just offering that same, good leadership, that same good training to everybody, where you've given everybody the same opportunity. And then, then it just comes down to they do with it what they wish. And you've offered the resources and that's all that you can do. But it is a numbers game. Sponsor the heck out of it. And then you're bound to find one that's good.
Yep. It's so true. And I'll be honest, and I know a lot of SSDs who joined only to get the product because we loved it. And then, we just like, wait, I didn't join to grow a team. I would have laughed in your face if someone said you'd be a director or superstar director. I would have said, I'm not a salesperson. That's not me. That's not. But look at me now. I love the product. I had a few people ask about the opportunity. I'm like, oh, this is something I can do. And now I'm gung ho with it. So you never know. So.
Yep. And it's just one of those things where, I've had multiple times where people have joined and they've joined with that mindset. Me too, joined with no mindset to be, a lifetime Scentsy consultant, that joined with that mindset of I'm a hobbyist, or I'm just going to get a little bit of Scentsy or sell a little bit or whatever. And then something in life happens that kicks them into gear. And it's really weird. And I guess you could say fate or divine intervention or whatever. I don't know. But it's weird how I have had multiple times where people have joined for just a discount and then they've lost their job. They've gotten pregnant with a new baby. They've had something happen where they've realized, oh shoot, I have an opportunity here that could be a vessel to provide for my family when I'm not able to because I lost my job, or I'm not able to work because I'm having a baby, or health issues, or my child's having a health issue, or whatever. I have had that happen personally with multiple people that I have sponsored. So it's a thing. So it's, just offering that opportunity to everybody and not assuming that they don't need Scentsy. Because again, everybody needs Scentsy, whether it's they could be a doctor. There's doctors, principals, everything else, attorneys that do Scentsy. And you would never assume that they need the money, right? They may not need the money, but guess what they might need? The tax deductions. They might need friends. They might want to be able to go to Fiji or Africa or Europe or whatever without having to spend their own money. They might have, a ridiculous amount of college debt that they want to pay off without using their paycheck. There are so many reasons by people that you assume don't need Scentsy do need Scentsy. So it's just asking.
So true. So true. So
yeah, I love that. And it just kind of goes back to, it's not our job to make the decision for them. And that's exactly the sample that Sarah has put before us, is that sometimes, like when I started, I was just kind of like, well, she doesn't need the money, so I'm not going to ask her. This one needs the money, but she said no, and so if you kind of operate by that formula, you're always going to be kind of sitting at zero, because you are putting yourself in a position to make decisions on behalf of other people. When I earned the trip to South Africa, I remember coming back and I have my friend's mom who was like, tell me where to sign up. I don't think I'll ever get to South Africa, but this company that you're working with, I'm learning about the products, the community. That was 2017. She's a doctor and she's still with us and building a team. And so that was a lesson learned for me, because I don't even think she had purchased Scentsy from me. So I definitely was not like, well, I'm going to ask her. So, don't discriminate. And as I mentioned to my team earlier today, for those of you who want to earn an incentive trip, go ahead and drop a number 1 in the chat if that's you. But if you want to earn an incentive trip, this is an all-year practice. So right now, we're not working towards an incentive trip. In fact, the incentive that we have right now is for scent pods and fragrances. But yet that's not demotivating Sarah and others from sponsoring and offering the opportunity, because what we do right now by sponsoring, by planting those seeds, some are going to jump on board, like the 10 last month and the 5 this month that Sarah said, yes, I want to join now. And you're building that opportunity to earn that next incentive trip, which is really just the cherry on top of this amazing business, right? But she's building her TWV, her team wholesale volume right now. She's building her group wholesale volume. And she's not operating out of scarcity. Like, let me hold on to all these recruits. And then when we get to Scentsy Family Reunion and find out where we're going, then I'm going to ask them for the opportunity. No, we and she are building a sustainable business by being consistent, no matter if it's June or no matter if it's August or September. That's what this whole group that we have formed is all about. We're teaching everyone how to be consistent in their businesses. And it doesn't matter if you're an SSD or a shining star. It doesn't matter what your arrival point is. We all start at zero recruits, zero PRV every single month. And I'm so inspired by you, Sarah, and others that have been around for 18 years, and you're still doing what we did as an essential consultant. And that's so much respect. So I know that we kept you longer than 10, 15 minutes,
Oh,
but how could we
you're
not?
Well, okay, I know you guys probably want to end it, but consistency is huge. One story I always say with consistency, I had a hairdresser say, well, I'm going to take the summer off. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm finding someone new. And I know a lot of us, you hear people, I'm going to take the summer off, or I'm not going to work on recruiting, or I'm not going to work on parties. Guess what? It's hard to come back from that. So you'll work on these things consistent, whether it's an incentive period or not. That incentive is kind of telling you what you need to do to grow your business. Do it every single month and it will pay off. I've always earned every incentive. It doesn't matter if you recruit them now or later. That new recruit may help you by hitting lead in the incentive period. Usually get points with that. Always keep working. And if you don't ask them, someone else will, and they'll take them. And when they're ready to join, it may be too late if you didn't ask this month and you wait till August. They may not want to join it then. So never hold back for an incentive period. Always continually work your business. So anyway, I know I went over. Sorry.
I love
No,
it.
don't
You're
apologize.
fine.
I mean,
Trust
if
me,
we
we could
could
sit here all
steal
day.
you for another hour, we would. So don't apologize at all. We are so blessed to have you with us tonight. Everyone was so excited because we didn't announce who our special guest was. And so they're on here and they're like, who is it? We love special guests. So, and I know you're very special to me personally, but I'm so glad that we get to share you with everyone else. So thank you so much for your time, for your talent, for your wisdom, and just for your generosity. There's a reason why we were all ugly crying last year in Salt Lake City, Utah, when your name was announced, because you're beautiful inside and out, and you're so giving. So we
You're
appreciate
so
you, and we can't wait to see you in Charlotte.
I know. I got to give you guys all big hugs. So I'm excited to see you.
Yes, you're
It's been
excited.
too long.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I want to tell everyone who might in a replay, we always have a code word, and it's going to be shining butterfly, because that's what Sarah is to us. She's just a shining butterfly. So the code word is shining butterfly for those watching the replay. And we do have a call of action. This is a fun one, you guys. Rachel and we are going to post an old incentive, a previous incentive tracker. And your task is to fill it out this week as if you're earning an incentive trip. What is that going to look like? We are not going to wait for Scentsy Family Reunion for them to tell us the same thing. You know what, guys? If you want to go to paradise, you need to recruit. You need to be consistent. You need to have PRV. You need to work on promotions. We already know that. So why don't we plan it today in June? So that way, when it is announced, we are already ahead of 200,000 consultants. If you guys are up for that, go ahead and drop a number 2 in the chat, and Rachel and I will post that incentive tracker. It's going to be a Build It Better incentive tracker. And what you're going to do is you're going to build it for this fall. Okay, what is your projection? This is what Scentsy is going to be asking of you. Now it might change as far as what they give us, but it usually is tweaked by a little bit. And then we want you to post that underneath our thread. So that way we can already have our 6 months lined up. And you, Lisa, Donna, Pamela, Sylvia, Rhonda, Nina, Misty will be meeting at the next destination wherever it's announced with Sarah.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait. All right. Well, I think that we had an action-packed 30 minutes. You guys, let's hit the ground running. Have another amazing week. And we will check back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central.
All right.
All
Love you
right,
guys.
Good night. Thanks again,
Thank you,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.